Hi everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to show you guys a quick breakdown of the vlog equipment and stuff, just as I promised from before. This is my audio bag that I purchased back when I was filming the web series, and I really like this audio bag because it's very compact. As you can see, it has like different compartments and zippers, and I think that you'll really need that for tiny pieces like the micro SD card and stuff like that. And I'm really proud of this bag because, you know, when I picked it out, I was very particular. It was my first bag for camera equipment and stuff like that. So I'm gonna start by just showing you guys the SD card that I use. And the SD card is just basically allows you a bunch of different ports to use for your SD card, your micro SD card and stuff like that, just to keep it nice and simple. Here's the recorder that I tell you guys about, and I use that Zoom recorder in addition to the Rode microphone. And this big long wrapped up cord is basically the cord that is used to feed through both ends to connect it so that I could get dual sound system, and the two systems together sound really great. That's the port that I use to plug in that wire. This one is for headphones, which I recommend you use for sound checks and mic checks before you start. And here we go to get the microphone for you guys, and bam, here's the Rode Go microphone. And right here you'll see a zip tie because it had a mic handle on it, but it was very tight, so it broke, and so I zip tied it to the microphone stand permanently. Sometimes could be annoying, but it's not broke. The microphone still sounds very good, so I'd never replace the entire thing. The only problem is one day I will, because this microphone stand is pretty flimsy, I must be honest. I would prefer to put it like on a tripod stand or something that is a little more sturdy, because I have to weight it down with like a rice bag and stuff like that when I'm filming, which could be very annoying. So as you guys can see, there's also a little cord that serves as an adapter basically to attach those two pieces together. So currently that piece goes into the back of the microphone, and it runs into the long cord that I showed you guys, and then that long cord goes into the actual Zoom recorder. Sounds very complex and tricky, but if you guys have any questions, you can always DM me and I'll break it down a little bit further for you guys. But if you want that nice crisp sound, and if you don't want to go to start recording and find out you don't have all the pieces, then make sure you have all three of those. Now next is the camera bag. Now I like this camera bag because it's nice and cute and small. I'll start with the speed booster, and the speed booster by Viltrox is just what I use to attach other lenses to the camera. Currently I stick with the kit lens, but it allows me some options to play around with. This is my wind muff, and you're gonna need that wind muff more than you think. If you're vlogging outdoors with the Rode mini microphone, which I also recommend you guys get, then you want to make sure you have that, because you might not hear sound when you're outside and recording, but you will be picking up sound and you'll hear it later on, which could be very annoying and hard to fix. Now here is one of two batteries that I have, one of two generic batteries. I have three batteries in total, one that came with the Canon camera. And basically I have this battery because the battery life for the Canon is not very long. So there's other options like rigging it out, but currently I just have a bunch of different backup batteries. Here is the actual battery that came with the Canon, and I like this battery because they kept it very light and simple, and most importantly it has this plug in the back, because I like the option of being able to plug my stuff into an outlet, which is very important if you guys are filming and you're somewhere, you know, that there's many outlets or stores you can walk inside of to charge your battery if you ever really needed it. The best solution to that is honestly just keeping backup batteries like you see that I have, but I like to have that option of plugging it into something if needed. Now here is the charger that came for the generic batteries, and the reason why I purchased this charger is because it had a dual system. Very important. If you're gonna have two batteries, why have something where you can only charge your battery one at a time? So whenever my battery dies, this allows me to have, you know, the option. And then the USB is convenient as well. I prefer the outlet, like I said, but it's a matter of preference. I like that it has the two slots on it, so I could charge them both at once. I usually do this the night before filming. Very important for survival. Your batteries are going to be a key component to your vlogging success. You do not want your stuff dying while you're filming. Now moving along to this ND filter, which is also been a game changer for me. The best way that I can describe this ND filter for you guys is, if you are someone who is interested in the look and keeping the details and, you know, stuff like your exposure and your aperture and depth of field, you want to have this ND filter on your lens, and it allows you to basically still use the same settings without losing, you know, the correct exposure, which you will do outside in the sun if you don't have this ND filter on. So I do not go outside anymore without this ND filter. Big piece of what I do. Now the next thing is this gray card, which is used for white balance. White balancing is something that I slept on and didn't really know much about, but ever since I purchased this gray card, which also has a white side to it, I've just been getting better quality videos because I was relying on auto white balance on the camera, which is perfectly fine. And if you ever forget to white balance your stuff, you can fix it in post as well. There's different methods if you look it up. But when you white balance it, you just get the most truest colors to skin. You don't mimic whatever light you're filming under. So if I would film under a yellowish lamp or a yellowish studio light, sometimes my skin would come out yellowish and it wouldn't be brown, and I would have to play around with the colors a lot in post. So this just saves me so much time. I honestly recommend you get one. And now moving along to the tripod. The tripod is by Instafoto, and I like my tripod because it is very lightweight and convenient. Now let me give you guys a quick glimpse of how that looks. Now if you guys take a look right here, I'll show you guys something that I really was sold on when I was looking for a tripod. Now for me, I knew that I would be filming alone, so it was very important for me to have a tripod that had a hook on it, so that if I wanted to, I can just hang my book bag up on the bottom of it, and just makes life easier when you're filming by yourself. And then over here you guys can see that it has these little shoes to keep it from sliding and gliding across the floor, which is very helpful as well. And also was important for me to make sure I had something where the legs were easy to adjust if I was working alone, where it could lock in and it wouldn't be sliding and gliding. So you want to do your research. It's all a matter of preference of what you like. Just pay attention to the weight. Here's the attachment for also if you want to film from your phone. So that's another thing I liked about this tripod from Instafoto. They gave me a bunch of different attachments. And I'm gonna look through here and show you guys the remote as well. It's in one of these little bags, but the remote is important, especially if you want really nice thumbnails. And for a long time, I was filming and running back and forth between the camera and myself to shoot pictures or to get the camera started, which made absolutely no sense. You always want to make things as easy as possible for yourself, so I suggest you get familiar with your remote. It's gonna help you out a lot. We have the USB hard drive. The USB hard drive is an essential component to, you know, everything that you're going to do in Final Cut. As I mentioned to you guys before, there's going to be an SD card that's going to come inside of your camera, and I transfer my footage from the SD card to this USB hard drive in order to work on my footage. I do not edit from my SD card directly, and I do not transport that footage directly to my laptop and try to edit from the laptop. It is a fail, it's glitchy, and it's slow. So to me, this is the best method to use if you want to edit. Now moving along to my overhead camera mount. This is one of the most recent purchases, and I like this because it is what's enabling me to film the video that you guys see now for really good overhead shots instead of having a big old tripod on the table. Now here is the light, one of the lights that I use. This is not the one that I use all the time. This is a RGB light, so it has different modes on it. We have other lights that I typically use because it doesn't have many modes. You literally just turn it on and adjust the dials. I use 3 different lights as mentioned before, a key light, a hair light, so that means I'm using 2 of these, and 1 lamp or other, you know, light that you might have around the house. Now here is my laptop bag, and in my laptop bag is my little handy dandy laptop, and the laptop is where the magic happens because of the programming that you're going to use, and I currently use Final Cut Pro. Now here we are back to the handy dandy camera bag, and I just wanted you guys to know that it may seem very complex for you, but the most important thing that you guys want to do is get started. If you have any questions, you can always feel free to DM me via Twitter or Instagram, and I hope that you guys are going to share how things went on your journey. And this was J Bear, the Venting Bear, and I'm out, guys.